Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful week. It looks like the news with all the COVID crisis is getting a lot better. And isn't it funny, the second I start a live, everything starts chiming and pinging and going off over here. So let me turn down all my volumes here. So welcome. Forrest out in St. Louis. Truly appreciate you. Am I back? I think I'm back.
There's a problem on my end, yeah.
I don't know what that was about. It was weird. It just like went into a spinning circle. So I don't know if I left the scene of the crime or not. Anyway, so I had been rereading Freakishly Effective Social Media for Network Marketing by Ray and Jessica Higdon, which is absolutely cool. And I had a question that came up because I've been doing a lot of follow-up. And there's a right way to do follow-up, and then there's not the right way to do follow-up. So what I thought I would share is sort of the first step, the magic, as I put it in the post, the magic phrase. Hey, hey, Dr. Gardner, thanks, appreciate it. So I want to share this magic phrase because, and you can put it in your words a little bit. It just depends on what you do. So let me walk you through the steps first. So the one of the things that is very, very important that you've got to map out that you got to do. So I got to tell a little bit of story. So in January, I made this big goal that I was going to reach out to 1,800 people in the month of January. So I went on this prospecting gig and going through the prospecting, reaching out. Well, I made it to like 1,572 people. Well, what I hadn't planned for was the follow-up fallout. And basically that was meaning that I had a whole bunch of people that raised their hand and said they wanted more information. And I lost track of some people and I didn't log some people on my follow-up blog. Yeah, that's me, Mr. Google Spreadsheets log guy. And it was just a lot going on. And so I lost track of it and got a little bit lost in the deal. But I learned I got to be a little bit more prepared because I underexpected, which I say you should underpromise and overdeliver. Where I underpromised myself and overdelivered with a follow-up, if that makes sense. So in the long and the skinny. Now here's what's cool because it's going to fast forward to this, and I'm gonna make a point here. So if you are struggling with not getting the results you want, I can almost guarantee it's probably because you're not following up. And here's what maybe we can get the mind shift. People do not see value in what you have until they realize the value in what you have. And I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, I get a message from one of my friends local here that says that they're had some questions about some of the products, and it was a weird conversation because I'm like, okay, who's he? My first response was, well, we'll get back with the person who's trying to get you enrolled, and he says, well, you're the person. So that was sort of funny. The funny thing about it was we hadn't talked to this couple for probably, what do you think, babe, 18 months or something like that?
It's been a while.
So it was a while. And just out of the blue, the funny thing about it was he says that, we had some of the products sitting around. We hadn't used them for quite a while. And we started using them. We liked them. So we wanted to start another order. And they hadn't been with the company since like 2011, 2012. So 8 years later, just realizing and knowing that we had an affiliation with that company, they reached out to us and said, hey, we'd like to come on board. Hey, we'd like to get started. And hey, we want to be business partners. And we just showed up every day. And we had dropped and planted that seed months ago. So which was very, very cool, as they said, and it wasn't any deal. They just asked a couple of questions. I got on the phone. I said, you can do this, that, or the other. And he says, well, we're going to do this. So it was a very soft close. It wasn't a lot of this and that and the other. They just went in, they enrolled, they got started. It was very neat. And they're off and running, and they're customer business partners right now. So which is really, really neat. So that's a story. The reason I brought that up is because even though we didn't really follow up with them, we made a good enough impact in our follow-up process months and months ago that, and then showing up continuously since that in social media and being on Facebook every day I'm not saying you have to do a Facebook Live every day. That's totally up to you. I do these for me, really. It's like a selfish program that I give away. It's like one of those things that if I do this because I have a big goal to make a big impact on a lot of people's lives. And if that's not what your deal is, if maybe you're just wanting to make a little bit extra money on the side, that's absolutely cool. My goal is to make a massive, freaking stupid, ridiculous impact and fill a lot of empty refrigerators. So coming back to say this. So you reach out to somebody, you send your prospecting message, you send out the follow-up presentation, you schedule a follow-up with them, and they ghost you. Now, here's what I really strongly suggest is don't take that personal. I sent out 70 some number of messages, follow-up messages from people I prospected. Now watch this. These are people I prospected in March. There was like 190 of them that I prospected that were rolling over from coming in from January through February, that actually in March, because I was just knocking on their door, that said, yeah, I want more information. So I sent them the presentation, and my presentation tells me when they watched the presentation, so I could see they watched it. So I went back through that, and all of them, I had their name, their email address, and a phone number. So I went through that, and I sat down yesterday, and I started sending them messages, text message, text message, text message, text message, text message. And the text message was basically something to the effect of, I apologize, been super busy enrolling new customers and teammates. Let's see, what exactly did I don't have my phone with me. I apologize, I've been crazy busy enrolling new customers and teammates. How are you? And that was my message to them. And I sent that out 75 times or something through the process. So, and this comes right out of this book right here, Freakishly Effective Social Media for Network Marketers. It comes right out of this book. It's actually on page 82. So here's the secret phrase. I actually just gave it away. So the reason we do that, they ghost you. You wait about 4 days. It can be 3.5 days. It can be 5. But whatever the process is, the 4-day follow-up. You should immediately follow up the next day when somebody says, hey, they're going to watch the video presentation, or whatever time that you schedule that follow-up, you should definitely follow up with them. And I always like to follow up with a text. So if I send a message out to Rick and Rick said, yeah, I'll watch it, and then we agree to a time, I always send them a text message right before I call him and say, hey, this is when I said I was going to follow up with you. I'm going to go ahead and give you a call. And then I pick up the phone and call. And that's where I'm knocking on his door till I'm going to call him. So he's got to make a decision. If he's looking at his phone, he's like, damn, he's going to call me, right? Or great, he's going to call me. Either one way or another, Rick knows I'm getting ready to call him. And a few seconds later, the phone's going to go ring. So at that time, he's either going to be in panic mode, he's going to pick up the phone and go, yeah, what do I say? I told him I was going to watch it. I didn't watch the video, because I got 2 messages back today from people that I knocked on their door and said, hey, I'm getting ready to call you to find out what you like most about the video. And both of them replied back, haven't watched it yet. The other people didn't reply back at all. I called, the phone just rang, nobody answered. So that's the part of following up. So those people have now officially moved after they raised their hand and said they were interested. They ghosted me again after they watched the presentation again and didn't follow up. So now they're in my follow-up funnel, and I'm going to, trust me, I'm in sales mode now. I'm going to bug the living but Jesus out of them until they tell me to go jump in the lake. So, and it's, please, that's a whole different force side. It's a sales side of me, and we'll talk about that maybe in another training. So let's come back to basics. Basic one, you send out the prospecting message. They agree to watch the video. You set up a follow-up, and they ghost you. So what do you do next? You wait 3 or 4 days, 5 days, somewhere in that time frame, about 4-day time frame, and you do the 4-day follow-up. This 4-day follow-up is magic if you say it the right way. You're apologetic. Remember, they're supposed to be following up with you because they said they would, and they ghosted you. So you're going to do the follow-up apology. You know, hey, Dr. Gardner, I apologize. I've been super slammed, had to enroll a bunch of customers, been super slammed, had to enroll a bunch of teammates, been crazy busy with however you want to say that, whatever it is, and whatever truth you want to put in there, because it's true. I think I enrolled like another 8 customers today. I enrolled like 7 customers yesterday. I enrolled 10 customers the day before that. And so over a 4-day period, I put in like 28 customers. Now, I don't want to blow them out of the water, because I don't want them to get the idea that they've got to, you know, enroll 28 customers, because that might paint a picture of some really hard work, because they don't know what enrolling a customer entails. Like, damn, this dude's enrolling 28 customers in 3 days. I don't want to work that hard. Some people don't understand that concept, especially if they come from a job where, like in car sales, you don't sell 8 cars in 1 day. And if you do, you are working your butt off, right? So that might paint the wrong picture to the wrong person. So to keep it more simplistic, you say, hey, I've been really busy enrolling new customers, enrolling new teammates, got new teammates on board. So that would be true today. I enrolled, I've been crazy busy enrolling new customers and teammates. How are you? That's the magic phrase right there that's going to elicit some type of response. How are you? Just like I said, two people today responded back with, I haven't watched it. And then I'll talk about what I'll talk about what I responded or what I said to them to follow up with that. But they said I haven't watched it yet, and I set up another follow up with them and said, great. Actually, I'll just tell you what I said. So they said I hadn't watched it yet. I said, I said no problem. When you watch it, shoot me a text and let me know. And if I have time, I'll give you a call. If not, I'm going to check back with you sometime next week. I did that as a position of posture, right? Because they told me, they agreed that they were going to watch it. Now I'm putting it on them that I'm just not going to be available anytime they said, because we agreed that we were going to follow up. I set a follow-up schedule because I put that on the plate. I said I was going to follow up. They agreed that they were going to follow up with me and meet with me. They missed the meeting, or they didn't watch the presentation when they said they wanted to. So now it's on them. If they want to come play with me and my baseball bat on my baseball diamond, they've got to watch the video. They've got to send me a text message and tell me they watched the video. And then I'm going to let them know when I'm going to follow up with them. If for some reason I don't hear back from them 30 days from now, they're on my list. They're on my Google Doc spreadsheet. 30 days from now, I'm going to follow up with them with a 30-day deflection, an update and a deflection. And that's a whole nother part of this book that's I highly recommend you get, Freakishly Effective Social Media for Network Marketers, because the nuggets, everything I'm talking about, everything I do is right in this book. So highly recommend you get the book. So this is going to be my call to action. Get the book. Get the book. So right here, I'm going to read it right out of the book. So this is exactly what it says in the book. Now, once a week, I go to the people on your Facebook Messenger who haven't responded to you in 4 days or more and go through your contacts and say something like this. Hey, I apologize. I've been so busy with new prospects and new customers and people that I've totally dropped the ball following up with to see how you are. How are you doing? The whole point of that question, how are you doing, you're not going to say, did you watch the video presentation yet? What do you think about the products? Is how are you doing? And when they reply back, they're going to say, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. Your whole point of this message is to get them to engage with you, is to get them to pick up the phone for more or less and have a conversation with you. And you can do it on text message. Here's what I do. If they say I'm doing fine, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to say great, especially if they agreed to watch the video and I have their mobile number. I'm going to say great. If they're texting me back, they're going to say, they'll reply back, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. I'm saying great. What did you like most about what you saw in the presentation? I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to wait for them to reply back on a text. If they say, I liked X, Y, or Z, I said, great, I'm calling you right now, and I'm going to hit the dial phone, and I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call them and get them on the phone because I want to be able to hear their voice tone. I want to be able to talk to them. If they don't answer, then again, I'm moving them into ghost mode. If I say, what did you like most? And they say, I liked the XYZ product, or what did you like most? Or I like the making money side, or I like the teammate side. I'm going to say, great, I'm calling you. I'm going to send them a text message. I'm calling you, and I'm going to call them right on the phone because I want to talk to them. I want to hear where they're at, and I want to be able to go into the close and close them and move them through the process. So if you use that phrase, apologies, super busy, enrolling new customers and teammates, totally crazy week for me, been super busy enrolling, however you want to put that in there. You've been busy. You're apologizing to them for not following, apologize for not following up with a super busy enrolling new customers and teammates, checking in on you to see how are you doing, or how are you doing, or how are you, question mark, and just leave it sit there. just leave it sit there. If they respond back to you, then you can re-engage and ask them what they like most about what they saw. If they don't do anything, then you just go ahead and move it on to the 30-day update and deflection. Now, I actually do a 15-day update and deflection because I want to move them a little bit quicker. That's me. You can move them to a 30-day and then a 60-day, whatever's comfortable for you in that follow-up process. I like to put a 15-day in the middle of that because I want to just knock on their door a little bit sooner and try to keep stuff moving faster, move the pipeline a little bit faster, because there's going to be people catching up. So hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, share your number one takeaway of what you got from this. Highly recommend that you go. I believe this is on Kindle Reader. I believe there's an Audible on this as well. You can download it, you can read it, you can order it and have it shipped to your front door. I actually like this. A really skinny book. It's got like, let me see, count all the reading pages, 114 to the last page. So very, very easy read. But in terms of a tech manual, a how-to book, in terms of being able to get your mindset right and how to prospect, this book is definitely highly recommended by me. So this is Forrest out in St. Louis. I love you. Jesus loves you. There's absolutely nothing to do about it. No more empty refrigerators. Go out and make an extreme impact. Peace out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.